dude, the CEO or the editor-in-chief for Sports Illustrated should go and thank Jordan Peterson. They probably haven't had that many clicks in ages. For fuck's sake, I clicked on it. I was like, whoa, oh shit, the swimsuit edition is out. Let's see what's going on here. I want to see who the woman is that he thinks is not attractive. Of course I'm going to do that. You know?
It is. So, it is. You're so right, man. Like, they must be split testing what gets the most clicks for this. The fashion companies that are using plus size models, you'll notice that they never use skinny fat guys. So they'll have normal dudes. Oh my God. Did you see this the other day? So it was so funny. One of my guy mates tweeted this from the UK about how it was different types of underwear. One was for men and one was for women. And the women was women of all sizes. And the dudes were shredded out of existence. And it was just like a comparison of the women's underwear and the guys' underwear. And all of the guys were absolutely ripped.
Bro, that kind of sucks, dude. That kind of sucks. Like, look, I guess maybe it's not masculine of me, but to have that be the standard for men and to not be like, hey, it's acceptable for a man to do that because, hey, look, like, someone, said this the other day and it was a woman. She said, like, I sometimes misinterpret this. We can give as much shit as we want to men because they're men. It's like we misinterpret it. It's like they should be able to handle that. We have looked at a society where, we look at through the lens of the quote unquote patriarchy. And so
Dude, I've just put it in the chat. Have a look at this thing. So have a look at the difference between it's Myer and the women's lingerie and the guys' lingerie.
Holy shit, wait, this is the exact same. Is this the same page or did they cut it?
No, this is the same page.
You know what? What does that fucking say, man? What does it say to men? It's like, oh yeah, like you guys don't need to be babied at all, ever. You don't need compliments. Oh, your feelings are hurt. Well, you're a man.
Can you, for the people that are just listening, can you describe the image?
All right, so look, we have the women of all sizes on top. We have women of all ages for sure on top. We have an older lady on the right, a couple older ladies in the middle.
And ethnicities as well.
All ethnicities, men, shredded chicken, absolutely dick skin peeled. Okay, well, looks like we have a couple different races here, and then shredded.
Well, no, like, it's not a couple of different races. There's only one, like, slightly caramel guy, but that's the same dude twice.
Oh, that's the same dude. Twice. Great.
Homeboy in the middle is ready to step on stage. He's peeled out of his mind.
Yeah. This is not, the acceptable, but this is interesting. They have, this is different brands. So are they pulling from, are these like Myer models or what's the deal here?
I'm not sure because sometimes e-commerce sites will have they'll get products from a bunch of different brands, then they'll shoot it in their style, right? Like ASOS does this. ASOS has ASOS models, even though they might have Nike clothes. So it doesn't really matter that it's different brands.
This is fucked up, man.
How fucking wild is that?
Oh
it's so
God.
Blatant.
But anyways, to finish what I was saying is just like this idea that, this woman had brought this to my attention. She's like, I do tend to just not really give as much of a shit about men's feelings because it's always we are worried about women's feelings, and a lot of times we can brush it off, and that is a mistake that I've made and I try not to make anymore. And it's the same thing here. It's like, well, we have to absolutely worry about body dysmorphia in men because the moment that men begin to think that their bodies aren't as acceptable as they could or should be, they can develop problems that they usher out into real life. And we've seen this in bodybuilding, in my world, in fitness. Like the people that are constantly commenting on another dude's body, like they do have problems within their own worlds. This isn't just men towards women. It could be women towards women or men towards other men, and it happens a lot of men towards other men.
But dude, think about what we said on the last one, which is slut shaming. The amount of slut shaming that goes from women to women, the amount of people who are anti-abortion or pro-life, by and large, it's women. The vast majority of comments that are done about other women's appearance is done from women to women. And yeah, like, this is where the whole battle of the genders thing.
Yeah, it can't just be this thing where it's like men
versus women, or women versus women,
or women versus men. It really is problematic, and it's so fucking weird. It's like I had this realization on TikTok because it's like the Gen Z kids, the kiddos out there. Like you're noticing a lot of women who are just like they're playing on it. They're not actually serious, but they always vocalize it. It's like having a crush on a woman now. Like women are much more vocal about being sexually interested in other women because of their disdain for men in general. Because we have the men versus girls, girls versus men versus girls, girls versus whatever. You know, that war going on between the two of them, it's just so apparent. And the same could be said on the opposite side. Like the idea of, oh, she's for the streets. You know what I mean? Like,
what's that mean?
It's like if a woman, you know, does something that's slutty, she's for the streets.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Pick your head up, king. Like, focus on yourself. Type of shit.
Yeah.
That's like the meme language that kind of surrounds it, and they both have their flaws, you know. But it's always for me. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because like I don't see that changing, and I think you told me this before. Like. That's where you have your issues, Zach, is that you call to action a culture shift, which is just like an almost impossible task.
Yes.
I do that a lot on my videos. I go, I wish as a culture we could do this thing better. Or I'm pointing out this flaw in some sort of fitness charlatan, and I'm wishing that we could do this thing better. And for some reason, I forget what your point was or who brought it to your attention, but it's like, calling to action this massive cultural shift is not always the answer. It's not even remotely the answer. It will never work.
I just don't think that it's realistic because you don't have like a God's eye coordination for this. You know, what you would need to do would be able to sit everybody down and say, look, here are some interesting insights, guys and girls, about where you think your oppression or your vulnerability or your difficulties come from. And a lot of them are calls that are coming from inside of your own fucking house, right? Women who will, for the most part, presume that, I would guess if you were to do a survey of women, they would think that slut shaming, anti-abortion rhetoric, and body shaming mostly comes from men. It doesn't. It comes from women. And guys, like most of the guys that are having the piss taken out of them about the way that they look, or about how strong they are, about how noodly their arms are and stuff, that it's not girls that are saying that. It's your bros. It's your bro friends, or the people that aren't even your friends, right? Like, that's where the vast majority of attention, but this gender war thing that we've got that's going on at the moment, it gets clicks, right? Because it creates an easy in-group and out-group. You know, maybe after race, it's the most prevalent and most obvious in-group and out-group that there is.
Yeah, and then, you know, you would assume that is part of like the, you know, the non-binary discussion as well. You can create in-group, out-group easily there.
Well, there's a million different in-groups and out-groups if you do that. What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full, unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.